Lost is on.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bite Sized Thursday, a subsidiary of Offslate Media. We're watching Lost because it's good, we think.
Yeah.
Other than that, today we are watching the final episode, well, the final 2 episodes, I guess, of Season 3, Through the Looking Glass, Parts 1 and 2. We will finally get to see Not Penny's boat.
Yes.
That's probably the only thing you remember about this episode?
I'm trying to think. I remember that, and because I thought it was last week's episode that happened. So I know Chale's gone after this.
Gone.
Yeah, 6 of them. The 6 of them aren't rescued in this episode, right? It's the end of next season when it shows that. But the boat gets introduced because Chale gets in contact with them, right? And that's how he knows
that it's.
Or he gets in contact with Penny.
Oh, I just burped in the microphone. I apologize about that.
Ew.
Does that sound right? It's like he talks to Penny over the radio and realizes that's not her boat.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, but it's her dad's boat.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Alan Dales?
Alan Dale, yeah.
He has an actual name in the show, but...
Widmore. Charles
Widmore.
Yeah, so I remember that. I don't remember what happens with the others and the dynamite.
In the hilarious chronicles of No One Ever Dies on this show, I remember that it's Mikhail that kills Charlie ultimately because he swims down to he swims down to the station and then Charlie shoots him, but somehow he swims to the outside of the equipment room and has a grenade and goes.
So again, what you said weeks ago of the decision to keep him alive when they found Naomi ultimately leads to Charlie's demise.
Oof.
That guy just won't die.
Luckily, the fences weren't set to lethal.
I love how he strolls into camp a couple weeks ago and Ben just, Mikhail, I thought you were dead. Just so nonchalant. It's like, yep, there he is. And that's it. It's just funny. Again, Michael Emerson's really, really good.
Aaron, you got anything?
No, we've already talked about everything that I can even think of trying to remember about this episode, so let's watch the next one. Or this one. That works too.
Sounds good to me.
You remember everything about the episode?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. Yep.
So let's watch the next one. This episode 4, season 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After this one.
Episode 4, season 1. Wow. It's hot in here.
I remember that one.
That was the one you started on. Season 4.
No.
Episode 4 of season 1?
Oh. That's not... Yeah. Did you start on season 5?
Yeah.
What a weird place to start.
Yeah, well...
It's not your fault, though, wasn't it? Lance was watching it.
Was that quite disorienting?
I mean, at first, but...
All right.
I'm smart, so...
You smat.
Yeah.
We ready to get going?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get lost. Welcome back, everybody. We just watched the season 3 finale of Lost Through the Looking Glass, parts 1 and 2. And let me tell you, what I saw through the looking glass is that it's not Penny's boat.
Yeah. They know how to do their season finales. Like, for all the grief we give them, they know how to wrap up a season. I can't think of a single season finale outside of 6 that, because I don't remember everything about 6, and 6 is the mixed one, where you leave a season going, maybe that season wasn't so bad. Because, like, 2, for how a lot of the seasons, that is a really good ending to the season. And this one, I think, is the best of between 2 and 3. I think 3's ending is better.
See, I think 2 is one of the weaker endings for a season because it does the purple flash and then there's like falling action, but the falling action doesn't do anything. It just kind of is.
Yeah, and it's hard to top that first season.
Are you
finale.
having trouble following it, Aaron?
No, I'm trying to remember the season 2 finale.
That's where they're on the dock.
I
Right,
kind of think
right.
that season 2's end should have been purple flash done.
Which we'll get not next season, season after. We get a Flash to end,
Yes.
Yeah.
which
True.
they do it right. And maybe that's one of my hangups with 2 is I'm an endings guy, and back then before I could put my thoughts into words, it was why do I feel like I just didn't care? And it's part of it is there's a lot of just kind of plateauing narratively, but then when you get to the end, it's not this big bang ending that 3 has, and 1 is a very good emotional ending because where all the stories come together in the flashbacks on the plane. Like,
Again, it makes me wonder if they thought they only had one season to work with.
yeah. But they also left it open in
and it
case
al-
they got renewed.
And it also makes me wonder if they saw the writer's strike coming for season 4. I mean, because they're a part of the Writers Guild, so why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm looking, and again, they began production, it tells me. Excuse me.
Of 4.
They began 4's production in August of 2007, which is a couple months after this 2-parter aired. But then they had to stop in November when the writer's strike happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading this. The original plan was to air all 16 episodes in one consecutive block, which, just week to week. But there is a pause after, I believe, the 8th episode. So I think it was originally 16 episodes, but there's only 14. So I wonder if a couple of them got morphed into others. Because it says 16, but then there are 14 listed. And the finale is a 3-parter. So you have 14 episodes and a 3-part finale. So you only have 11 episodes that aren't the end. 10 episodes that aren't the end or the premiere. So
That's interesting because that makes it a... So I always found it funny because they always say, oh, yeah, this is a 2-hour finale. It's really only like an 80-minute finale for these shows based on commercials. But if it's a 3-parter, then does that make it a 3-hour finale?
it's weird that part 1 aired 2 weeks before 2 and 3. 2 and 3 aired back to back 2 weeks after part 1. Yeah, it's like the first 8 went from the end of January to the end of March. Then there was like a month off. Then it went end of April to end of May. So that's what we're coming up on. So that's my guess is they planned for less episodes, it looks like. But then it was less episodes than they thought still. It just feels like this show, as much as, and I'm just reading this little paragraph, I think they were better prepared than what we thought, but not for a strike necessarily, they just paused production until the strike was over and then resumed, and then just probably post-production decisions were made.
I don't think it was as long of a writer's strike as this most recent one, right?
It says 2007, 2008 writer's strike, which it began in November, so it bled into the new year. I don't know how long, so it was probably a couple months. This past one was long.
This past one, was that a writer's strike or was that an actor's strike?
The writers were on strike, and then the Actors Guild, I think, in solidarity, because there are also AI concerns about likeness. Something like that.
Yeah, where'd that all go?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's another thing coming up. I think there might be another strike coming up. Don't know when. It's a.
I mean, it is
industry's a
crazy
mess.
that James Earl Jones sold his likeness in his death.
I don't think he's the only one. I can't think of any other off the top of my head, but I think others have done that where it's like they have clauses in their wills where it's like their public image can be used by their family or can be like it's interesting. It's like the Fred Astaire hologram thing. Oh, where was that at?
Was there an actual hologram of Fred
It was
Astaire?
it was like the Grammys, like someone danced with Fred Astaire. It was like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like it was that long ago. There's like some weird hologram dance, that thing that they did. I think it was the clip from Royal Wedding where he dances on the ceiling. Is something where they did that, or maybe it was a commercial. I don't know all the details. I just know like this kind of like after death likeness thing has been weird. Because some actors it's absolutely not, and then others it's...
Then there's Grand Moff Tarkin.
Ugh.
What was that, Aaron?
Looks so bad.
I really want to think that better of that movie, but you have completely ruined it for me.
Well, I liked it the first time. I think
it has a very classic Star Wars vibe to it, but ultimately it doesn't matter at all. And so it's like, why did I just watch that?
If connecting it to Lost, it's like you watch it once and you go, okay, wow, because the ending is strong.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you rewatch, things change. This is different because there's hours upon hours of content and multiple seasons. Whereas that one movie, I saw it like 3 weeks later with my parents, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I didn't love the first 2/3 of this, but the ending made me go, yeah, it was fun. But then rewatching it, I was like, man, I do not care. Now, it's different, I hear, when you watch Andor, but I also hear using Rogue One as an Andor finale doesn't work because Cassian is the main character of Andor, and he is not the main character of that movie. And there's no true finale to the show, apparently, because it bleeds right into the beginning of Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that, when you watch it, it's like, it just doesn't hold up for at least cynical idiots like us.
I am not one of the people that liked the cameo for Darth Vader.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that in my brain, that pushed it too far into the other movie where it's like, I don't think that this is better, and I don't think that I want to set a precedent to go back and remake shots of classic movies and put them into current movies, unless it's like parody of some kind.
Yeah,
parody makes sense to me. Verbatim remaking it, and I know it's not quite verbatim, but remaking it for that purpose doesn't make much sense to me artistically.
Oh, nothing makes sense artistically for those things. It's going to now be all about what makes money and gets viewership.
That's fair.
That's why any kind of reboot of Lost that we talked about before, I don't think that'd be good. I just think it'd be like Netflix slop. Like, have you seen how Netflix lights their shows? It's garbage. It's terrible.
Most Netflix shows are kind of garbage at this point.
It's because they have specific ways you have to light it. Like, they have certain things because they want it to look. They want all their shows to look similar.
It's kind of like pushing a style sheet a little bit too far.
Yeah, I can understand having similar aesthetics, but when something doesn't look good and then you make all your shows look like that, all your shows are going to look bad.
Yeah, but okay, so saying it doesn't look good is kind of subjective in that capacity, isn't it?
No, I think it looks flat and ugly.
But that's you. That's not everybody.
It's a lot of people online, though.
Well, yeah, but still, it's subjective to the viewer. Like, unless it's like bad lighting, a look is a subjective thing.
True. Probably someone smarter than us could like point out a frame and be like, yeah, they're not lighting this correctly because they want this nasty
the
look.
Moon is green, Jared. You know that. We know that now.
Yeah. He's not here to defend himself.
I
Not that
hope he
would.
watches this
I
show.
know. He might watch this one with the new look and everything.
I hope he does. You should post a clip of just that.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you know you don't even know what we're talking about, do you?
No.
Shall I tell the story to Aaron?
You can go ahead, yeah.
All right. So Jared and I are watching Jojo Rabbit, friend of the podcast, Hammy's favorite movie. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Anyway, there's a scene. There's a scene at night where Jojo, he's not even listening to me. Did you win?
Oh, wow. No, continue the story. Don't ask him questions. Continue your story.
No. There's a scene in the movie where it's at night, right? And he's like looking out a window over war-torn wherever he is. German? Is it in Germany?
Yes.
I don't remember. That's the only time I've ever seen it.
Oh my gosh, keep going.
And the moon is blue. And you took a snap of it and sent it to Dickie. And Dickie says, yeah, that's cool. But the moon puts off green light, so that's not lit correctly.
That's not what happened.
Okay, then
He
you
said
tell
it.
it.
He said
You
it
tell
in the
it.
theater.
No, I thought he said it to us.
We were a bunch of us went to see it. At the end of the movie, Dickie said his only real criticism was the moon was blue in that one shot. Everyone knows that the moon, when you film it, is green. And then I started chuckling, but I thought that's I'm whatever. We watched it at my house, your Blu-ray copy, months later.
Mm-hmm.
And I said during that scene, when he is sad, because it's a stylistic choice, I said that to you, and you just lost it. You're like, what? I go, yeah, that was his criticism. He goes, he's sad. That's why it's blue. That's what happened. And then we've clowned him about
clearly
it.
I forget it. But the funnier thing is, and speaking to Hammy's point too, the more time passes with that movie and the more we see from Taika Waititi, the more I agree with that
He
perspective.
was right. He was right. What, 7 years ago? He was right.
He was absolutely right.
He was ahead of the curve. Everyone fell in love with it because of certain emotional ties you have to it. And I liked it when I first saw it. And then I saw it with you, and that made my opinion drop. And I was like, no, he's right. He's smart. He's right. And then I don't think you saw it in that setting. But then as the years passed.
Because that was the first time I had seen it.
Yep, because it does that to you. It's emotionally manipulative like a lot of media is. And then when you think about certain things, it makes the opinion drop. And then when you see how he is
and
personality.
Well, yes, and then you see the way that culture has swung currently.
Yeah,
it makes you just kind of.
So Hammy was ahead of the curve, and he got a lot of crap for having that opinion. But he was right. I hope he feels vindicated. I know he does. He told me to, but he should feel vindicated.
I hope he listens to this and feels vindicated by us.
He doesn't listen to us. He's never seen Lost.
That's fair.
Why would he watch in the middle of the show? Like, we're past the halfway point of the show now.
Again, clip it and send it to him.
Actually, I don't even think like this episode. I think like 6 episodes ago we crossed the halfway point because the latter 3 seasons are shorter.
Does that mean the rest of it is falling action?
Not necessarily. We didn't hit the climax of the whole show. We just hit the middle.
Aaron,
let's see, 121
what do you
episodes.
think of all that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair point.
We are past the halfway. The halfway point, because there's 121 episodes technically, is somewhere between Enter 7-7 and Par Evian. Which we're now, that was episode 60 and 61. We just watched episode 71, 72. So months ago, we crossed the halfway point of the show. So we're in the back half of the show. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
Now, I want to, as we look at Aaron's wonderful mug. So, Jake, you saw this live.
Yes.
And then I probably like you, Aaron, saw this, probably these same DVDs for this season. When you're watching Jack's backstory, that moment when you realize, oh, this isn't a flashback. This happens after everything. And that last scene is when it nails it down. You realize, whoa.
Going back and watching a lot of shows that I saw in the early 2000s like this, can we still call this the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not in the 2010s
Makes
yet.
me realize that I felt gaslit by a lot of seasons like this.
It knows how to hit the right emotional
Well, because
beats.
I remember thinking as I was watching it, how did he know her before they got on the plane? How did he know her before they got on the plane? I don't understand. Like, did they go back and like what?
It made, because again, it did the right thing of it made you rethink what you had been watching as the B story of this whole episode, the flashback. Now it's flash.
It is probably as effective a perspective shift as Attack on Titan. I think you feel Attack on Titan a little bit more, but it's a pretty effective shift.
This one's classic TV too, where it's like, here it is, here's the twist. You finished Attack on Titan. I won't say it into the mic for people who haven't seen, but it was like in that moment when they don't focus on it, it's in the background, and I have like subtitles on, and I'm reading like, what did they just say?
Oh, you're talking about the celebration, the holiday thing that
They're on the wall, and they're like the focus is here, in like the left third or the center of these two people talking, but then the two in question that are part of the twist say something to each other, and you're hearing it.
You're talking about when
I'm trying not to say it.
You're talking about when we figure out that the people aren't.
When you figure out who some characters really are.
That's before the perspective shift that I was talking about. I was talking about the perspective shift to
in the last
season.
Yeah, which this isn't that much before it. But in that moment, the big twist of the show happens right there, and like that one, that's why I keep thinking about it, because it's just gonna fly past you unless you're paying attention. Whereas like this is classic storytelling where it's right in front of you. There's two characters talking.
It's funny to me that show almost lost me when they were doing the arc of it where they took the princess underground. Like I didn't. For some reason, that just didn't like make sense to me in the context of the bigger story.
I'd like to watch it again one of these days, because people say there are a lot of hints all over the narrative for what's to come. Even some like
we should watch it in here.
Maybe one day. It's so emotionally taxing.
It's fair. Maybe it wouldn't be so emotionally taxing if we did a podcast on it or something.
That's true. Then another series Aaron could not say anything about.
Aaron would have something to say about it. You look at the wrong camera.
I didn't know you were going there.
That does look a lot better than Tuesday, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Why? Because he's facing it. That's why. I bet you that's why. Sorry, we're troubleshooting while we're on the podcast here. For you audio listeners.
So back on that flash forward, the first one we get, because our whole next season is that, as we've mentioned throughout the entirety of this. I still think, because parts of the show don't work as well on a rewatch now that we're older and apparently smarter, I think it's still really effective.
I think this is probably the most effective season finale we've seen yet.
Storytelling wise, maybe.
In my perspective, I think that if you consider the Hatch an effective sort of expansion of what we know about the island, I still think it kind of falls a little flat.
Yeah.
And then the second season, we were talking off camera. I just think that goes on for a little bit too long.
It's a lot of sitting. Like
No. I meant specifically the finale. Like I think it does the explosion, and then there's so much falling action after it, where it's like. I think one thing I've noticed about Lost this rewatch is that they, like you've said, they stretch their suspense out just too far. Like the example with Carl last week.
With the little pause in between the two
They're
lines.
coming tonight. They're coming now.
Yeah.
Just one of those. Like the audience knows the cue for time if you say tonight.
You could have, like you said, one of those works. But, yeah, stretch. There are times, because it's network television 20 years ago, we get spoon-fed because people's media minds back then functioned way differently. I'm not going to say we're smarter or dumber than we were, because there's a lot of dumb people on the internet. It's like, you're not watching this right. Not just this, just anything. It's like, what? Do you know how this works? So I'm not going to say we're smarter. I just think our brains function differently 20 years later, just if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us watched this before our, not to use a social cop-out, before our brains were all fully formed.
It's not a cop-out. That's literally what it is. I mean, were all of us teenagers when we saw this for the first time?
I don't know. I wasn't. It wasn't even on until after I graduated high school. 2005, That's when it started.
4.
4?
You were a teenager.
Just barely.
Still, like
Yeah.
you weren't even 20 yet. And then
Yeah,
like
but
said,
I didn't even start watching it until I was in college. Until my sophomore year of college.
I think I was
Which-
19.
So you would have been what year? Was your sophomore year of college?
What's my sophomore year? It
yeah.
would have been 06, 07.
06, 07.
So it would have been this season.
06. So you still were a teenager, because your birthday's so far at the end of the year. You would have barely been a teenager. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, all 3 of us were teenagers when we started the show.
Fair.
And that makes sense. Like,
That
we think
seems
certain ways.
that seems so long ago.
It does.
My 20th reunion for my high school was like
2 years ago.
2
almost.
years ago or something like that. That is crazy. I didn't go because
You don't like anybody.
I won't say that because I don't know who watch/listens to us. But
That's not true. I know someone you graduated with. She's very nice.
oh, you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's like so. I know
she plays on your softball team,
Yep.
doesn't she?
Yeah, she's very nice. So like, I know that not everyone you graduated with you don't like.
That's yeah.
Same with my I got along with just about everybody I graduated with, but I just don't see many of them. My 10th was like 3 years ago now.
10th.
Yeah,
10th.
I know you said 20th.
10th.
Yep.
20th.
Yeah,
Which
You-
means your 15th is probably either
last
was
year.
a couple
Last
years
year.
ago.
Last year. That's right.
Did you
we,
go?
We were in high school for 1 year together.
Yeah.
That was
Did
a
you
good
go?
year.
I don't even know if there was a thing. No clue.
It's not a lot of people do it anymore, and it's because of how interconnected we are. Because in the old days, it was you don't know what anyone's doing. This is the only time you interact. But now with social media, we see what everyone's doing.
I also think that culture has shifted to looking a little bit down on people that can't grow out of their high school self.
Well, that's what reunions are for. Then you get to see everyone who hasn't grown out of their high school self.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I just think they're fading as a thing. They still happen, but just I didn't hear anything about mine. I don't know because you have to have a committee put it together, and if no one wants to do it, then no one's going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How wonderful was it when Jack beat the piss out of Ben?
Watching it live, I probably was like, "Yeah, kill him, kill him."
Boom, 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 and he just keeps going, and he pauses for a second to shift onto him, and then you're like, oh, boom, boom. And like,
It's actually hilarious when you think about the progression of Ben's character. He goes from like this almost omnipotent, untouchable to just this sniveling little grunt of a man.
Yeah.
I got a better way. He goes from getting his butt kicked to ordering the butt kicking to getting his butt kicked again, and then becoming a sniveling little messenger boy. Because when we first meet him, they're torturing him, and then he has others of them tortured, and then he gets beat up by Jack. It did feel good, and I know you said you hated him when you first watched. So when he's doing that, it's funny how it does that to us. Like we champion violence like that so easily because we have such a strong reaction to a fictional character, just because the writing and Michael Emerson just make him so. He's a great antagonist in this season. I know going forward he's less of an antagonist, and again more just what'd you say, sniveling little.
He's kind of he loses that edge, but I think that's because you know more about what's happening.
He's kind of a patsy.
Yeah.
That's probably the best word for it. Just he's being used
Mm-hmm.
to do all this stuff. So it's like when you first meet him, he's nobody, and then as you get to know him, it's like, oh, here's this like incredible force of power, and then as more of the layers are peeled back and changes happen, he's
I was gonna say they also fundamentally changed the show in that they went from like kind of like a grounded thing with like a little bit of mystical, but then like shifted entirely. Like when spoilers, when they move the island.
You're like, they're moving the island?
Yeah, and like, oh, they went back in time, and what? It just kind of becomes more, not even mystical. That's not weird.
Yeah. They kind of start as like, I think I said that during one of these episodes. Hey, remember when this show was just about surviving a plane crash? And it's like, oh, this week's episode, we're finding water. This week's episode, we're trying to get fire started. This week's episode, we're running out of food. And now, what was this past problem? We have to get the underwater station signal jammer down so we can hike up a mountain to get a satellite phone working, to send out a transmission to a boat 80 miles away that will come save us from this island and this mystical being sitting in a cabin.
They don't know about him, though. The only one that knows...
I'm just looking at the overall like point of view from us as the audience. It's like, that's quite a leap from the first episode. That's why in that first season, outside of the supernatural edges, is pretty grounded, like you said. It really is, and I can see why after the first season, that second season killed viewership, and then the third season further killed it compared to where they were, because a 12, 13-point share is not bad, but the first season, they were in like the 30s, I think. Mm-hmm. Like it went down, and then it's just going to keep going down, because as shows go on, that happens naturally for a lot, and streaming was starting to pick up steam.
Mm-hmm. And Aaron, you were telling me that your friend started watching it and was interested because, like, to further his point, it was interested because of the survival aspect, and then lost interest as they got more mystical.
Yes.
That is correct. Is this in line with your friend's character, would you say? Like, are they much more of a grounded story person?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Gotcha. I've noticed that, and I think I'm the opposite. I think I like the groundedness of season 1, but as you get deeper, I think by the time we get to 4 and 5 and 6, I like how crazy it gets. We remember when the show was airing, and everyone was like, "I don't know what's happening." I don't remember it being that hard to follow, but
it's not. It's similar to Kingdom Hearts. It's not complicated. It's just a lot.
What were you about to say? I cut you off. That's my bad.
I was just going to say, as far as media goes, he's like almost entirely non-fiction interested. So
he likes Real Housewives. That's non-fiction, right? I only say that. That was the first thing I thought of.
You're thinking of Desperate Housewives.
Right.
Yeah, because that's not a scripted fiction show.
You remember when that was a big thing?
I do.
That was before Lost, wasn't it?
I think they ran simultaneously. I don't know when it started, but they were on at the same time. My brother loves that show.
Still?
Desperate Housewives?
It's not still on.
No, but you say still? Like, he still loves it? Yeah, he's like working through it for the first time ever.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. He probably would have been a little too.
Yeah, I mean, it aired when he was probably like 6. I mean, when this first season started, my brother wasn't even 10 years old. Yeah, season 1, my brother was 7. Not even. It debuted in the spring.
He was born in 97?
97. So let's see. Episode 1 of the show, the pilot, he was 6 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was like a month away from being 7.
How is his hair doing? I remember the last time I saw it being very luscious.
Still is. He knows how to take care of his hair.
Well, he taught you how to take care of yours.
He did.
You're getting a little gray up there, buddy.
Yeah, some of them are him, some of them are you.
Him?
No, there's probably some plots open for purchase by Aaron, but nope. So far, it's just my brother and you.
Not even Hammy? Darn.
Nah.
Not even Nick?
Nah. Dickie, there's some Dickie hairs
There's
on
some
there.
Dickie hair in there.
That's an interesting thing to say out of context.
I don't like that.
Welcome to Offslate Media. We have Dickie hairs.
Correction, you have Dickie hair. I have Andrea hair.
Lost. We're talking about Lost.
I swear, we're talking about Lost.
Hey, we had a reunion that I forgot went down like that. It's Rousseau and Alex finally met each other.
Oh yeah,
Because that is kind of a thing they tease because they kind of give you the whole like, this is Alex, the Alex moment, and then they don't really focus on it for most of the season. And then when it happens, it's a nice moment. The problem is, and I was noticing this there's so much happening on a bigger scale that you kind of go, oh yeah, we got to do this before we do the next thing. But it is a nice moment. And I don't remember it happening like that. I remembered it happening in Alex doesn't react positively for some reason. But, I mean, there's more to go in the next season. I know Rousseau, spoiler, does not last the whole show. So, but I don't remember what happens. There's so much I don't. Most of this finale is like, I'm starting to remember things, but the grenade thing with Mikhail outside the porthole, I was
that was so funny.
Just the doop, doop. And he has like an intimidating face, but because he's like holding his breath and he's got a grenade, he had goggles, didn't he?
I think so.
I was like, why does he have both goggles? Wouldn't he have like painted one of them? I know it would have been cartoony, but it already was kind of a cartoony
Also, where
shot.
did he get goggles?
It's Mikhail. He can do anything. I mean, they harpooned him in the chest, and he still didn't die.
In the last 3 or 4 episodes, how many times has he died?
It's this season. I think we said, like, it might have been you, Aaron. It's like, man, this guy gets beat up a lot. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, the only person who gets beat up more than him is probably Charlie. Like, Charlie gets beat up a lot.
Oh, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about most iconic scenes in Lost. That Not Penny's boat has got to be up there.
Yeah, we have 2 of them in this episode. Yeah, that one, as Aaron said, it's crazy how that one, and what's the other one, Jake?
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back.
It is crazy how both those moments are like 10 minutes apart at the end of the season. Because those are like 2 moments when you talk about like the big legendary memorable Lost moments. Those are 2 of them, and they're 10 minutes apart. It's just nuts to think about.
I also remember a moment with Jack on the phone, but I think it's in the 4th season, where he's on the phone with the boat and it's like raining or something. I vaguely remember these moments from like the trailers of the ads for the next episode, or like next week on Lost. That sort of thing.
Yeah. The Kate Damn It Run is another one.
Kate Damn It Run.
That's a big one. I'm trying to think of others that we've gone
Jungle
through already.
Sex.
That's not the show. That's not the I'm talking like sound bites and moments from the show, where that one is memorable, but not like these giant memorable moments that we're talking about.
You know what's funny? We always talk about The Constant. I can't think of any like moment like that from The Constant.
Because it's just one constant moment. Oh, I made the best joke I'm going to make all week watching this episode. Because Rousseau is like gently touching Alex's face. Daughter and mother reunited. And then they look down and she says, do you want to help me tie him up? And I said, great, mother-daughter bonding. It's pretty funny. Their first activity together is tying up Ben. Like the first thing they do as reunited mother and daughters, let's tie this little sniveling guy up. I just thought that was really funny. Let's go tie him up. Okay. I love you, Mom. It's like, what did they talk about while they were like tying his hands up or tying him to that tree? Like, what did they talk about?
So this is the guy that stole you from me. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So how long you been on this island? About 16 years. Hey, me too.
Okay, that's funny.
What else do you talk about? One of them's a
Hey, how
hermit
much
in
do
the
you
woods.
hate this guy? A lot. How much do you hate him? A lot too.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny. It's like, this is the first thing we're going to do is, want to help me tie him up? Other people play catch or, I don't know.
Even Jack. Oh, Tom Dandy died this episode.
Got shot in the chest. Yep, Tom Dandy is gone.
Tom Dandy
Sawyer
dead.
took care of him because What did he say? That was for taking the kid off the raft. And Jake, you went, that's fair.
That's
I go,
absolutely fair.
yep. Who? We saw him in this episode. Clearly older. It almost sounded like they digitally did something to his voice to make him sound younger, didn't it? He sounded older, but it's like they're tweaking it a little bit so he doesn't.
Well, he only had like 1 or 2 lines, so we might not have had enough time to really. But I don't think that they're above doing that type of thing.
Yeah. But he showed up because remember he's been running around the jungle.
Let her run through the jungle.
Let
Let her run through the jungle.
Because remember Shannon saw him running through the jungle in season 2. And
yeah,
then
but they hadn't left at that point.
Yeah, but saw him when he was with them, but he was running around the jungle. Like, people have seen him around the jungle, and now here he is standing there telling Locke to get up, and it's one of those things you could interpret it as Locke hallucinating as he's been bleeding out all night. Yeah. At the same time,
and he's laying in a pile of Dharma Initiative dead people.
Yeah. At the same time, because we've seen Walt in the jungle like that, kind of with that supernatural edge to it, it's not out of the realm of possibility or impossibility in this case that he's actually there in that way, and Locke's not just seeing him. I'm surprised he was still conscious after laying there bleeding like that all night, and I'm surprised that gun worked as well as it did for. I mean, it's the
there. Island and Jacob.
I know, but it got rained on.
He had a destiny greater than that, but then he died again.
Yeah. A lot of death in this 2-parter. He had 7 others blown up.
Saeed killed a dude by snacking a neck with his thighs.
Yep, Saeed killed that one guy, and then Hurley ran over a guy. He mean girls the guy with a van, which Hurley for the win. Hurley kind of is the MVP of this episode other than Charlie. Like, Charlie is the reason they send the signal up, but without Hurley, I don't think anything else happens the way it does. Hurley for the win. When they turned him back, I remember saying, like, man, you can tell, like, for sure, Charlie, you can tell Sawyer doesn't want Hurley to come because he doesn't want to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But then both of them have to be so mean to him in the way they do it because they know if they hurt him, he won't come. Like, he'll turn away, but...
At least Charlie hugged him.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't even in this episode, but whatever.
Yeah. Still, though, just Hurley for the win. But still, a lot of death. 7 got blown up. Tom Dandy was shot. What's his name? It was like Ryan or whatever he said his name. Ryan got hit by a van. Other guy got his neck snapped by Saeed. And then, Mikhail got harpooned and then blown up. He blew himself up. Charlie drowned. The 2 women were shot by Mikhail. Like, there's a lot of death in this episode.
Yeah, the evil queen was shot, which made me sad because she's very pretty.
Yeah, she only has, 4 minutes of screen time in Lost.
Yeah, but if this led to her being the evil queen eventually, I'm okay with that.
I think we've covered just about everything. It's and Charlie left the ring, the DS ring, the family heirloom.
I think that
to Aaron, but it got left in the cradle.
I think that comes back up. I think they eventually wander back to the camp and they find it, and because she doesn't understand that he's dead.
Yeah, she doesn't know yet. No, Desmond's the only one who knows.
And
right
he's
now.
Still down there, so.
Yeah. And he saw Penne.
Penne
on the video screen. What game did you say it reminded you of?
Rebel Assault 2.
Rebel Assault 2. So that's not the one with Tim Curry, is it?
It might be.
What's the one where he's like the general dude, and there's that clip everyone plays where he goes, "I'm going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism, space." What is that one?
I don't know.
I'll have to look that, but that is a wonderful clip. Afterwards, I'll show you the clip. It's you can tell he's holding back laughter. Rebel Assault 2.
It's Tim Curry, yeah. Rebel Assault 2.
Yeah. But anyway, we got anything else to say as we wrap up our thoughts on Through the Looking Glass Parts 1 and 2?
I think I'm good.
All right. Yeah. That was Season 3. Oh, real quick. Season 3. The only changes in character. I got our thing right here. Jake changed his favorite to Juliet in the first episode, and Aaron, in the third episode, you changed your favorite to Desmond. My favorite is still Hurley as of season 1, episode 10, and then all of us still hate Kate.
Hate Kate.
Yeah, we skipped season 2 for that completely, and that's that. Anyone have any final thoughts or a favorite episode of the season? I think we already know yours from last week.
Greatest hits, for sure.
I really like Desmond's episode, Flashes Before Your Eyes, because Desmond episodes are awesome, and that one, as it's jumping through his story, as he's literally going back into his story, it's pretty great. And also for how much expose focuses on 2 characters we don't care about. The eye-opening shot is one of the creepiest things this show has ever done. So that's what I'll say. I like Flashes Before Your Eyes is favorite episode of the season. What about you, Aaron?
Yep, those are good ones.
Any other moment that's a favorite of yours in the show that we haven't mentioned in this episode?
I don't know.
Anything stand out?
None that come to mind.
Not jungle sex?
Nope.
Jungle sex. There's the last one of the season.
Not, damn it, Kate, run!
Kate, damn it, run! Well, there's another one from Sawyer, too, we have now. You want to go to hell? You want to go to hell? As he's... That's one thing. I said, oh, we got scary, serious Sawyer now. And I said that to you, and you're like, yeah. And I go, no, like, after he kills the Sawyer that he's been looking for, that's the flip, because he's the funny stoic guy before that who calls everyone nicknames and makes funny jokes. Now he's like, he's like super serious now, and I'm all for it. It's a good performance, good character. I just wanted to add that in there before we wrap up.
Wow, have we really been talking for 47 minutes?
About, yeah. It's the finale. It's a 2-part finale.
So, if you want to come back and see our smiling faces, you can check us out on the following social media platforms.
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, the funny TikTok, and Twitter. And you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and hey, if it's YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, ring that notification bell. Make sure you check us out or rate us on all those apps and swing by our groovy website.
And other than that, we look forward to seeing you next Thursday on Bite Size Media, Bite Size Thursday, Off Slate Media, whatever. And other than that, fellas, let's get lost.